Hi, and thanks for watching this GSI webcast. I'm Bill Rem, and today I'm going to show you how to download and install SQL Developer so that you can query a database directly. First, to find SQL Developer, just do a Google search. Type in SQL Developer Download, and you can see I have autocomplete for it already. The very first response should be the link to the download page. Click on that, and on the download page, accept the license agreement. Then below that, pick your platform. If you're using Windows, then you won't have to install a separate JDK. Otherwise, you'll have to download and install that first. Since I'm on Windows, I will click the Windows 64-bit download. I've already downloaded it before, so I'll just go to that directory. The download is just a zip file, so extract that zip file anywhere you want. Drill into the directory and find the SQLdeveloper.exe file. Run that file, and Oracle SQL Developer will start. When you first start using Oracle SQL Developer, you won't have any connections. You'll have to add one for the database that you're connecting to. To do that, click on the green plus sign under the Connections section of the window. In here, you'll put in the information to connect to your database. If you don't know this information, you can get it from the tnsnames.aura on any client and server that's connected to your system. tnsnames.aura will look like this sometimes. If you don't know where your tnsnames.aura is, just do a search of your local drive and it will come up as a result. Inside the tnsnames.aura, the section for your database, in this case my database, is OVS-ORCL. We need the host name, in my case GSI Aura PL21, which I will place into the connection name, and also the host name. I'm going to be using the username sys, and I'm not going to tell you the password. And I'll save the password. Since I'm using sys, it is the sysdba role. If you use any other role, any other user besides sys, you don't need to change the role. But in my case, I'm going to use sysdba. We're using a basic connection type, and that means we're going to enter the values in manually. You can use several other connection types, including TNS. If you have a tnsnames.aura file installed on your computer that has the connection information for the database that you want, just pick TNS and then the database you want from the drop-down list. That's not always going to be the case for you, so I'm going to do it the basic way by putting in the host name. The database port 1521 is the default, and if we look at our tnsnames.aura, the port is 1521. And finally, the service name is OVS-ORCL. That's different from the SID, but in my case, the SID and the service name are the same. So I'm going to put it here. Once you've got your information put in there, click the test button in the middle, and it will check it out, and status should be success. If there is not any success, then make sure the information you've entered is correct and that your database is up and running. If that's correct, click Save and then Connect. It'll connect you to your database, and you see here on the left I have a connection for GSI Aura PL21, and it's even opened a query page for me as well. You can start right away by running a select statement. Make sure on Oracle select statements you always put the semicolon at the end, otherwise the query will not know when it's time to run. Hit F9 to run it, or the green play button, and it will select the statement that your cursor is on and execute it. Down below, all of the data that you requested is displayed. Now you can select this data and paste it anywhere you like. You can click and drag, use Control-C keyboard command. Let me create a new text document and paste it in there. A little bit more useful is to export this information to a flat file like a CSV. Just right-click on your grid in the results, click Export. In your export wizard, you'll have a number of formats that you can choose to export. Today we're just going to use CSV. The other formats can allow you to do many things, including create an insert statement so that you can reinsert the data somewhere later. I'm going to save this as a single file and use the default file name as my destination. Click Next. I already have that file name, so I'm going to overwrite it. This is just a screen to review your results. Click Finish, and your file has now been exported. If I go to the location where I exported that file and find it right here, it should open Excel for me. There we go, there's all my results. Now this is the entire table. When you run an export to a CSV on the results in the grid, it reruns the select statement. So you'll get all the data that you're looking for. So if you're doing a wide open select on a very large table like the F0911, that could create a file that is too large for you to handle. So you want to narrow down your results using your select statement. And I'll cover that in another lesson. The last thing I want to show you is how do you find out the tables that are in your database. Click the plus sign next to your server's name, the little plus sign, not the big green one. And you'll see a number of things there in the tree below. The very top one that says tables, those are not the tables you're looking for. These are actually system tables and views. Scroll down to the bottom of the list where it says other users. Inside there is where you will find the schemas and users that you're familiar with. For example, SY910. Expand that tree, scroll to tables and open that, and you'll see a list of all the tables that you're familiar with in the system database. That concludes the lesson on how to install and use SQL Developer. Thank you very much.